NASA refused to give this astrochimp a name, just in case he didn't make it back alive. He was the first of his kind sent into the unknown. When he finally returned, cameras caught what looked like a triumphant smile on his face. But an expert watching the same footage saw something hauntingly different. "I have never seen such terror on a chimp's face." The Vintage Files archive has recovered case file FG-001, Ham the Astrochimp. Before he was a hero, he was a stolen baby from a Cameroon rainforest, sold to the U.S. Air Force for $457. For 18 months at Holloman Air Force Base, he was known only as Subject 65. No name in case the mission failed. Strapped into a chair for hours at a time, he was trained to pull levers on command. Get it right, and he earned a banana pellet. Get it wrong, and his feet were shocked. He learned fast. He had to. On January 31, 1961, 3.5-year-old Ham was strapped into a capsule atop a Mercury Redstone rocket and launched into space. The flight lasted just over 16 minutes. The capsule flew faster and further than planned, overshot its landing, and began taking on water in the ocean. It took rescue crews hours to reach him. When they finally opened the hatch, Ham's face was stretched into what looked like a wide grin. Photographers called it a smile. Primatologist Jane Goodall watched the same footage and said, "I have never seen such terror on a chimp's face." Ham never went near that capsule again, and it took several grown men failing to force him back in to prove it. 3 months later, an American astronaut followed the same path and came home a national hero. Ham was retired at just 6 years old and sent to live alone in a cage at the National Zoo. For the next 17 years, he had no other chimpanzee for company. He wasn't with his own kind again until he was moved to North Carolina, 2 decades after the world had already moved on. Ham died in 1983, at 26 years old. Officials wanted to preserve his body for public display. The plan sparked public outrage and was scrapped, but his remains were still divided. His bones went to a medical museum. The rest was buried beneath a plaque in New Mexico. Even in death, he wasn't allowed to stay whole. The archive remembers the chimpanzee who went first and was left behind. Follow the Vintage Files archive for more untold records.